Okay. Hi, Abraham. I have a lot of questions, but I'll start with, I have always been a dreamer in the nighttime, a lot of dreaming. And a lot of my dreams, I'm swimming, and I can swim in the water and not take a breath. And I'm flying often in my dreams. And I'm usually teaching people how to do this. And I also have had a dream continuously that I'm in school, grade school or high school, and I can't find my classroom. And I can't get into my locker. And I can't find the office to give me information on where to go. And I feel lost and frustrated. And I'm just curious, why? What are these dreams for? How can I utilize them? What's the dream world really about?
Well, there are a number of things that we want to give you, but most significant, we want to say to you that you would not have those two dreams in the same night or even in the same week or even in the same period of your life. And the reason we know that is because what you think and how you feel in response to what you think and what manifests always match vibrationally. And what you think and how you're feeling and what you're dreaming about always match vibrationally, because your dreams are a manifestation of sorts too. In other words, the same vibrational attitude that eventually results in real life experience is the same vibrational attitude that results in your dreamscape. So as you were telling about the flying dreams and the swimming and the unlimited feeling, we wanted to say to you that you were at that time of your life focused upon something where you were feeling hopeful or believing, and it's usually more on the believing end, but you were feeling optimistic. It was a time in your life when the world looked like you had all of the advantages. And when you feel like that, those are the kinds of dreams you have. The other dream, and Esther remembers that dream, not being able to even remember what the sequence of classes were and not knowing where they are. And that dream comes from a more vibration of frustration, where you are acknowledging that there is more that you want to do, but you are more beating the drum that you are not able to do all that you want to do. And so we think your dreams are wonderful. Your dreams are very telling. We like to say that you can tell by the way you feel what you're doing with your vibration. And we want to emphasize here today, and all day, every day, that those vibrational points of relativity, vibrational relativity between who I really am and what I want and who I am being in this moment, these vibrational relativity points are essential to understanding your guidance system or anything that's manifesting. When you are paying attention to the way you feel, you have the advantage of pre-manifestational awareness. When you wait until after something is manifested, we say, well, that's post-manifestational awareness. That's sort of finding out after the fact how you've been vibrating, remembering that 99% of it was complete before there was any evidence. So there's been a whole lot of vibrating going on before something manifests. Well, the dreams come somewhere in between. We would say that the dream that you're dreaming is at somewhere between the 70 and 80% mark. In other words, if 99% of it is complete before you have physical evidence, 70 to 80%, there's a little variable in there, is complete before you start having dream manifestational evidence. So if you're having wonderful dreams about things that you want, it means you're almost on the brink of them. It means you've cleaned up your vibration so significantly that you're about to have manifestations in what you would call your real life that would match that. And if you are having dreams about things that are frustrating or about that you do not want to have, it's not manifested yet and you still have plenty of leeway. But if we were standing in your physical shoes and we would awaken from an unsettling dream, we would start that day in cleaning up our vibration. Okay. Dreams are so helpful.
Okay.
And every dream is your creation. People sometimes think that the dream is some ominous warning or some signal about something that is coming, and we say, well, those words would be true in the sense that you are the creator, and if you're dreaming about it, it's well underway, but it's not something outside of you that's doing the creating. You're creating it every time. You put the words in the people's mouths in your dream. Your expectations are what make them behave in the way they do. In other words, you might awaken from a dream where somebody treats you badly, and you say, well, that's just a person that's set out to treat me badly. And we say, no, that's a person that you are creating to treat you badly because of the expectation that you are keeping alive within you. We've gotten off on a tangent there because those aren't your dreams, but dream information is popping up all over the room.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
I realize and I think I understand that the universe is creating for me. I have intentions, goals, and a dream, but I feel like I'm fighting the alignment and creating resistance. Is it the fear of success?
Well, we don't think that you or really anyone fears success. Do you? In other words, do you dread success? Do you say to your friends, oh, wouldn't it be awful if success befell me?
No.
Don't you feel sorry for all of those people who have success? Do you know anyone who does that?
No.
So who made that up? Who's talking about fear of success? What could they possibly be meaning? They mean, I'm afraid I won't be successful. They might mean that I want success, but I beat the drum of not having it, and so I generate fear within myself. So when I think of success, it gives me a fearful feeling, but it's not thinking of success that gives them the fearful feeling. It's thinking about not having success that gives them the fearful feeling. So we think it's time to start telling that like it is. I have fear of not succeeding. Well, how do you know? Because when I think about not succeeding, I feel fear. Well, how do you feel when you think about succeeding? Well, I don't know. I don't do that very often.
Right.
I've been practicing the fear of not succeeding, and I'm not sure what the feeling of succeeding feels like.
Right.
Well, it feels good, you see. So we're having a little bit of fun with you because of the words your friends put in your mouth.
Okay. Okay.
But it's really part of your question, and it's what we're talking about. The universe doesn't create for you. You do all of the creating. In other words, you identify what you want, and then you become a vibrational match to it. And just relax and don't ask yourself to feel wonderful about everything immediately. Just work yourself into a better and better and better and better feeling place. So in what area are you looking for success? Are you talking about financial success?
Partially it's financial success. Partially it's personal fulfillment. The achievement coming from a place of not having much, but I have a good friend that brought me here today, and to look where he has gone with his personal success level and his track. I'm following his coattails, and I am fighting myself for the success. I think, now that you say it that way.
Well, that's a very good process that you're following. Whenever you look at someone who is showing an example of having at one time not having achieved and then having achieved, you are soothing your own vibration and softening that feeling of worry or fear and putting yourself in a place of stronger expectation. From this seminar today, we want you to leave here feeling more secure that the things that you want are coming. And most important, not being unhappy that they haven't come yet. Because if you can make peace with the idea that they're not all supposed to come at once, but they are steadily coming, and then just watch for evidence of them coming. The more you watch for evidence, the more you'll see it. The more you see, the more will come. Until before you know it, you will be in that expectation. The thing that we want to give to you, this is the piece that's a little bit missing for you. And that is, you're not ever going to get it all done. And when you are happy with what you are getting done, then more gets done. But you'll never get it all done. Because from every place you stand, there will be another great idea, you see. That's why it isn't a good idea long term to measure yourself against anybody else, because you don't really know what your friend's dreams are or were, right, and where your friend's thoughts were relative to those dreams. You cannot accurately evaluate for anyone else what they're doing with the energy, but you can accurately do it for yourself, you see.
Got it.
You're going to have outrageous success, and there will be many who will look to you for example, and there will be many who will say, I remember you back when, and now I'm amazed at what you have done. But you don't want to factor them in. You just want to factor in where you are in relationship to where you want to be, and know that it will constantly change.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
So, Abraham, is there any kind of like hierarchy of these non-physical beings that we don't see?
There is no hierarchy in non-physical other than that assigned from disconnected physicals. Physical beings, it's an interesting position that you are in, because on the one hand, it is a comparative experience that causes you to give birth with clarity to what you want. And yet that same habit of comparing things works to your disadvantage when you're always trying to compare one thing to another thing in terms of the rightness or the appropriateness or the betterness of it, you see. Mm-hmm. And so the reason that we speak this so emphatically is because we want you to really get it, that here you are like a chef in a well-stocked kitchen with every ingredient imaginable to you. And the ingredients that you select from the shelves, as you mix it together in the variety of proportions that you might choose, will cause you to make a unique and individual pie. And we want you to not feel comparison about your pie in relationship with the pies that others are making, because the pies that they are making from the ingredients that they are selecting have nothing to do with the pies that you are making from the ingredients that you are selecting. You see. So when you get it that you are an individual creator who gets to select and mix and use your own guidance in order to determine how well you're doing, and you leave everybody else out of that, then you find your fulfillment, you find your satisfaction, you find your reason for being, you find your success ever so much more effectively. What happens so often with humans who are often comparing results rather than energy. In other words, we want you to set your own goals and become a vibrational match to them and enjoy every bit of the process. Because we know that with everything achieved, even before it's achieved, there'll be another goal and another goal and another goal and another goal. And unless you become happily at one with the incomplete nature of your being, then you'll be dissatisfied always as you are in this physical life experience, because you'll never get it done. It will never be finished, you see. But when you grasp and accept wholeheartedly the eternal nature of your being, then you start enjoying the process, and then you can leave everybody else and whatever they're creating in the kitchen out of your equation. In other words, it just doesn't have anything to do with you, you see. But there are so many who feel insecure about what they think they want or how they're going about it, that they're looking to the results that others are getting. Well, you just can't get good information from the results that others are getting, because you have no way of getting inside of them and understanding the vibrational nature of their desire and their habit of thought. They can demonstrate for you in some ways. In other words, as you look at people who are basically good-natured, you usually see them living pretty good lives. And as you look at people that are ornery and stressed, you usually see it replicating in their lives in different ways. In other words, as you begin to feel your own vibrational alignment, it becomes easier and easier to understand what's happening with others. So much so that you could spend 10 or 15 minutes with someone and pretty much accurately describe the way their life, at least for now, is unfolding, because the way they feel, their attitude or mood, is such a powerful reflection of the vibrational countenance of them, you see. Yes.
Thank you.
Do you see auras?
No, I don't. No, I don't see auras. But the work that was suggested was, and I haven't started the work. I was just curious about how he says, for example, there are 60 to 90 layers in the aura, and each layer of the aura means something different and has to do with different organs and things like that. So I was just curious.
Well, it can be very complicated, it seems.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we have a simpler approach. Good feels good.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Abraham. Thank you.